Hey guys, Jen here, and welcome back to Jen Star. Today we're going to be talking about examples of Asian actors being played by non-Asians and just instances of whitewashing going on. In no particular order, let's begin. When anime live-action movies get announced, fans are split on how happy or mad they are about it. I believe fans want a great live-action anime show or movie, but Hollywood doesn't have a good record of doing so, and that starts with the casting. Look at what happened to Ghost in the Shell. GITS is a Japanese cyberpunk manga and anime where we follow Motoko Kusanagi, a Japanese female, and she was played by a white actress, Scarlett Johansson, in the 2017 live-action movie. Director Rupert Sanders said how Johansson's portrayal would be something audience have never seen before. The best actress of my generation and her generation, and the person I felt most embodied the physicality and the ability to inhabit that role. Though Rupert Sanders was proud of his casting of Scarlett Johansson, Asian Americans were rightfully not as happy with that casting and felt that they could have casted an Asian American woman instead. Ghost in the Shell isn't the only anime to do this, but the supernatural crime show Death Note also. Nat Wolff played Light, and Elle is played by an African American actor, Lakeith Stanford. The movie was set in Seattle to make an American version, yet no Japanese Americans were casted for the main roles. You could have set it in America and still have Japanese American actors. In the 2016 Doctor Strange film, Tilda Swinton played the Ancient One, when in the Marvel Comics, the Ancient One is an Asian male. Marvel had already said that the casting was wrong on their part. They wanted to incorporate more women and thought casting a white woman was the right way. They could have instead casted an Asian woman. There will be some entries on this list that will show yellow and brown face, where actors get prosthetics to make them look more Asian. Mickey Rooney is a good example where he played Mr. Yonoshi in Breakfast at Tiffany. Katharine Hepburn in Dragon Seed is another example where she had prosthetics to change the appearance of her eyes. Amazon Aloha played a half-Asian Hawaiian Chinese woman named Alison Ng despite being fully white herself. The racist 1968 film The Party saw Peter Sellers wearing brown face for his role as Hurundi V. Bakshi, an Indian actor. Ashton Kutcher in a 2012 commercial did brownface where he played Raj, a Bollywood producer. What's considered one of the worst movies by most is 1956 Conqueror, where John Wayne was cast as Mongol conqueror Genghis Khan. Honestly, I get saddened and crushed when I find one of my faves doing something controversial, but Angelina Jolie in the 2007 A Mighty Heart plays Marine Pearl, a real-life journalist of Afro-Chinese Cuban descent, though she is of mixed European descent. Doctor Strange and Sherlock Holmes actor Benedict Cumberbatch in Star Trek's Into the Darkness in 2013 plays villainous Khan Noonien Singh, a genetically engineered human from North India. In a terrible Indian accent, Mike Myers in The Love Guru, a 2008 film, played an Indian American with racist jokes. Avatar: The Last Airbender was a television show that took place in a fictional world, but the creators have come out saying how the land, the world, was inspired by Chinese, Japanese, South Asian culture. So when the movie came out, there was backlash when nearly all members of the main cast were white except for the actor who played Zuko. Those who were native or from Asian descent were subjected to play the background characters. In the 2008 21 movie, it follows a group of math students who win big in Vegas by coming up with a card counting strategy. The movie was inspired by the real-life MIT students who had did this, but they were Asian, but the movie casted predominantly white actors. You can find this act of letting non-Asians play Asian roles in animation too. Think Apu from The Simpsons, who was voiced by Hank Azaria, a Jewish man who grew up in a Spanish-speaking household. However, white actors are now getting called out for playing POCs, which isn't just limited to Asian characters, but the discussion for Apu led to the discussion of whether white actors should voice non-white characters and vice versa. That topic is similar to, the whole whitewashing and blackwashing not existing debate. I won't get into that here, but if you want to see videos about these two topics, let us know. And lastly, I want to end it off on 2012's Cloud Atlas, which had a shadow of Yellowface illuminating over it since the trailer had dropped, where actors were put in prosthetics to appear more Asian and spoke English with a fake Korean accent. There's some sort of split with this movie because POC characters played white actors in the film, and some say if you're making a yellow face accusation, then you're missing out on the story and message. But honestly, can you blame the audience and Asian Americans for being upset? Could Asian actors not be hired to play the Asian characters that these white actors played? If you want to see a video where we dive deeper into the whole Cloud Atlas bubble or anything mentioned on this list, let us know. I'm totally ready to do some type of reaction video where I also provide you with some information if needed, because a lot of these things on these lists I have not seen myself, but I know that a lot of these are well known because I also know them as well. I just wanted to share what everyone's been saying. Hopefully you guys got to see the problem and then how this is not okay. You also got to see how this issue isn't just in the past, but there are ways Asian erasure and roles are being taken from Asian actors still happening in the present. I am not Asian, but as a POC, I relate to the erasure of my community on screen and the blatant disrespect, such as mockery, that a lot of these actors put on to portray us because Hollywood doesn't want to cast us. To any Asian watchers, please let me know what you think about the whole whitewashing, yellow face, brown face, etc. Tell us your story down in the comments below. In the comments, anyone can put more examples that need to be talked about, or your opinion about the matter, or about something that I shared in this video. Remember, no hate. And I was your host, Jen. This is Jen Star, and we'll see you next time. Happy Asian Pacific American Islander Heritage Month. Peace.